Now, this week, Ivory Coast signed a nearly $525 million compact grant to the U.S. government's Millennium Challenge Corporation. Money will be spent over a 5-year period to spur economic growth in the West African country and promote regional stability and security. VOA Correspondent Mariama Diallo reports.
The grant is designed to support growth and private investment by building up workers' skills and reducing transportation costs. Ivorian President Alassane Ouattara told VOA he welcomed the move.
The money in education will be used to build classrooms, to improve the skills of the young people, because youth employment is an objective of the government. And on the transport side, it will be investment in the transport of Abidjan, because Abidjan is a city of 6 million people. It's congested, and so we need to find ways to make sure that we improve the fluidity of movement in Abidjan.
In a signing ceremony at the U.S. State Department, Jonathan Nash, the Millennium Challenge Corporation's acting CEO, said a lack of training for workers has constrained the Ivorian economy.
We'll focus on improving basic literacy and numeracy skills in secondary education, complemented by an innovative technical and vocational training model that is closely linked with the actual needs of the private sector.
MCC was established by former President George W. Bush and over the years has benefited from bipartisan support. The agency works with developing countries that have committed to good governance and economic freedom, among other benchmarks. Only 7 years ago, Ivory Coast endured a deep political crisis when then-President Laurent Gbagbo was forcibly removed from office after refusing to accept the result of presidential elections won by Alassane Ouattara. But since 2012, the country has had one of Africa's fastest-growing economies, with annual GDP growth of about 9%. Ouattara said discipline is key to maintaining this kind of growth.
Good macroeconomic policies, solid macroeconomic framework that will attract foreign investment. And if you have good governance, where the money is used in the priority sectors, obviously this leads to growth.
At Washington's Center for Strategic and International Studies, President Ouattara said that as the world's top cocoa and raw cashew nut exporter, his country needs to be more aggressive on the processing side.
We produce 40% of the world cocoa, and yet we only process about 30%. We're the first world producer of cashew nuts. There again, we process less than 10%.
The president said another challenge is the fight against terrorism. He recalled the deadly attack last year in the town of Grand Bassam and pleaded for more coordination and support for his country and the newly established G5 Sahel counter-terrorism group. Mariama Diallo, VOA News, Washington.